Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, dan salam kebajikan. Rahayu, rahayu, rahayu. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I hope all of you in good health. In this presentation, my friend and I want to discuss about the name or semantics part 2. So let us introduce ourselves. We come from the 10th group of Introduction to General Linguistics class A. I am Abi Ryan Tiarno with the last student number 027. Okay, before we start it, let me check what is discussed in this presentation. So the first one is definition of the name itself. And the second one, hyponyms. And third one is synonym. The fourth one is homonym. And the last is antonym. Okay, let's move on to the first discussion. Please welcome Azzam as the first speaker.
All right. So what is names? Names are words that are similar or related to each other in meaning or in sound. There are hyponyms, synonyms, homonyms, and antonyms. Okay, let's move on to hyponyms, please.
Okay, hyponym. So what is the hyponym? Hyponym is words that have a similar meaning because they belong to the same segment of domain. For instance, the words pink, scarlet, orange, hot pink, and pumpkin in figure in mind maps are all more marked, specific terms for colors that derive from the color red. In fact, if we were to focus on the red section of the domain of color, we would name many shades and tones of this portion of the color spectrum. And the other example is branch, pines, birds. It's belong from the tree. So let's move on to the synonyms. Synonym is this. The synonym is the words that have similar meaning that share the same semantic properties are called synonyms. These are words that sound different but mean the same. When we paraphrase or restate a sentence that you have read or heard, you are using synonyms for some of the original words. English has so many synonyms that the speaker must choose the word that suits the intended meaning best. In the following sentence, the word in parentheses are synonyms for each other. Consider how the choice of one or the other affects the meaning of the sentence. The example is words adult, female, human, being may sometimes be referred to as woman and sometimes as a lady. These synonyms have the same denotation. Their first definition in the dictionary will be the same. However, they have different connotation. The set of meaning for each word is different. The context in which you would use each word is different. She is a real lady. She is a real woman. These two sentences mean very different things. The first sentence tells us that Driver is polite, kind, and perhaps legend and proper. I think that's all for me. Please welcome to the third speaker.
My name is Tria Novera and my student number 059, and I will continue the presentation. Homonyms. Homonyms is words that have different meaning but sound the same. They might be spelled the same or differently. For example, two, and two. They all have the same sound, but each word have different meaning. And homophones. What is homophones? Homophones is a word that sounds the same as another word, but has a different meaning or spelling. For example, tail, part, and flower, flower. And there is homograph. Homograph is word that written or spelled the same but have different meaning, and sometimes they pronounce differently. For example, pair, the animal, and pair, the verb meaning to carry. And next, polysemous. What is polysemous? Polysemous is word that have more than one meaning. And for example, the word school can be an institution for learning or a grouping of fish. And next, antonyms. Antonyms is words that are opposite in one of their semantic properties. And there are three kind of antonyms. The first one, complementary pairs. Complementary pairs is antonyms that express a binary relationship in which it is perceived that there is no middle ground. For example, the word male and female and chat and alive. And the second one, credible pairs. Credible pairs is set of word pairs which are responsible for showing variation between the two opposites. For example, big and little, sad and happy, and hot and cool, and the others. And the last one, relational pairs. Relational pairs is antonym that express a symmetrical relationship between two words. For example, parent and child, and uncle and aunt, and maybe like doctor and patient. And the next material will be present by my friends.
All right. Structural semantics. So what is structural semantics? Structural semantics is a study how the structure of sentence contributes to the meaning. For example, there are two sentences. Both sentences are composed of exactly the same words. In the first sentence, the teacher is the subject and is performing the action of teaching the student, the object of the sentence. In the second sentence, the only thing that has changed is that now the teacher is the object and the student is the subject. However, the change in the structure changed the meaning of the sentence, such that the first sentence describes a commonplace event, but the second one describes a more unusual. So next, structural ambiguity. A sentence can have more than one meaning. So in one of the ambiguous sentence given as example, it was unclear whether the adjective applied to only one or both noun phrase. This is a question of the scope of the adjective. For example, Chris has large dog and cats. Is the scope of the adjective clause limited to dogs or does it include cats also? Words emphasize, which are construction that focus the listener attention on word or another in a sentence to affect the meaning of the sentence. For example, so English, my little brother lives in Tucson. To state that the place where my brother lives, and we would say, my little brother lives in Tucson, to mean it is my brother, not someone else who lives in Tucson. Next.
Okay, my name is Siti Dwi Wulandari with the last three student number 0 to 4, and I will explaining about playing with meaning. Playing with meaning is the use of words in unexpected combinations and mostly used by writers, poets, and comedians, and other people used to, especially the English speaker. There are three ways of playing with meaning. The first one is an anomalous utterance. It is an utterance in which the semantic properties of one part of the utterance does not match those of another part. For example, my car is hungry. The semantic properties don't match because cars are inanimate objects, whereas hunger are biological processes of living things. But people usually use this kind of combination, like the example, my car is hungry, which means the car needs gasoline, and this kind of sentence also called as a metaphor. The second one is oxymorons. It is phrases that combine contradictory words, mostly used by writers and poets to achieve a special effect and evoke a range of emotion. For example, sweet sorrow, thunderous silence, and sedentary activity. The last one is idioms. It is utterances in which there is contradiction between the meaning of the parts of the utterance and the entire utterance. For example, the word sweetheart, it is combination between two words sweet and hurt, which is sweet is a sugary flavoring for food and hurt is an organ of the body. But when these two words combine together, it is referred to a beloved person, which has nothing to do with the morphemes of words sweetheart mean individually. And that's it from me.
Okay, thank you all for your attention. So today we will discuss about the names like hyponym, symphonym, homonyms, antonym, and other kind of meanings or structural semantics like playing with the meaning. So I think that's all from me. I mean from group 10. See you again. See you again from other discussion. Thank you. Have a nice day and see you at the next presentation. Goodbye.